Hello, everybody. This is CB Smallwood, and welcome once again to another day of Drawing Comics. This is 100 Days of Drawing Comics, where I break all the rules, where for whenever I can or want to, I'll be writing, drawing, inking, lettering, coloring. I'll be doing something further my goals to become a comic book artist. Hopefully, get a comic book put together and 100 uploads, and have a good portfolio put together or something. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, here's where we're at. Let me show you the rough draft. Okay, this is page 21. I'm sorry, page 21. And usually my rough drafts are, just that, they're rough drafts. I don't really put too much effort in them. I usually like to do stuff in a pen because I like how it makes things pop, I usually hate my rough drafts a lot worse when I do them in pencil. But sometimes I have to do them in pencil because if I'm drawing stuff I'm not confident with, then it requires a pencil to kind of figure it out. Because to me, that's kind of like the purpose of a rough draft, is to kind of figure out what you're wanting to do before you do it in a more serious manner, So anyway, so here's this page. Let's get on to the big 11 by 17 paper. First thing I'd like to point out to anybody looking at this is that this is not finished. The whole page is not finished. Every single panel needs work, needs details added to it, things cleaned up, things added, things taken away, that sort of thing. For example, in this panel, there's a possibility that I could leave this blank, as there will be word balloons and that sort of thing thrown in, I imagine, but I may draw a background stuff in there anyway. The only reason I haven't attempted that as of yet is because I have to go back and look at my other drawings to see how I got things looking by the side of his bed. So I want to make sure that I got consistency between all the different pages where it's not looking like he's in a different bed in a different house, that sort of thing. It's the same bed, same house, same room. The other thing is I'm going to have to figure out the hair situation because he has long hair the first time you see him. So what I need to do here, let me zoom in a little bit, let you look at this bad boy. So I'm going to have to go in and put some hair in, that sort of thing. A lot of things to think about. A lot of these rough scribbly lines, could change, stuff like that. Basically, I kind of like to put down what I'm going to crudely refer to as a base coat of pencils, where I just kind of slop a lot of lines down, stuff like that. And again, there's some stuff I need to clean up, like this line right here, the nose line. Also kind of showing what angle the face is pointing at and stuff like that. And, let's take a look at the middle panel. Now, as you all remember, I talked about possibly adding a fourth panel, but I wasn't really for sure. And let me pull this up. I believe it was, but Dave was talking to me, and he was telling me that he believes that it's a good idea to do a fourth panel. And I'm like, well, yeah, okay, yeah, all right. So that's what I decided to do, And here's the reason why: because I wanted to do a panel where the eyes just bare, with the exception of these two anchors, because the two anchors is part of the aesthetic look of Wildcat. Even though it's abnormal, it's normal for him. Well, what's not normal is these three little hook things, okay, coming out of his eye. And as you can tell, this happens, and then this happens, and then you find out later that it's his eyeball has come out of its socket. His eyeball is mechanical, and it's got these spider leg, crab-like legs, or whatever you want to call them. So on the big 11 by 17 paper, what I've done here is got the eye closed, and you got the two anchors, which again is it's normal for him, okay. And then the next panel, then we get the little hooks. But I decided that I wanted to add a little bit more pizzazz, and actually show like these long limbs coming out, and it gives it kind of like an insect feel. So I kind of like that. It's neat. Favorite panel is this right here. This right here is my favorite panel out of this whole page, and it really does kind of feel like an eye to me, anyway. I don't know how what you think about it, but I like the fact that me darken stuff up here a little bit better, and you'll kind of get a gist of what I'm doing. And again, like this none of these panels are finished. None of these pages are finished. You know, they're all, you know, tentative and stuff like that. But for example, right here we got one of the you know, you see this limb here, and one of the eye limbs comes up, and it digs into the shucks, I made that look worse, but I'll fix it later. It digs into the skin. Like, it's not putting a hole in his skin, but it's like putting like, see how this eraser, or what's left of this eraser, pushes and indents into the skin? Well, that's kind of what I'm going for with this. I want the eye spider limb to push and indent against the skin of the eye, and push and indent here. And the reason is it's forcing itself up and out of the eye socket. These hooks are helping to, which are actually the little feet of, you know, like the little feet of the spider leg, robot arms things. These little hook things are forcing the eyelid up. These limbs are forcing the eyeball out, up and out. And then here we get to see more of that. And here on this panel, you know, pretty much the same. I think I pulled this off a little bit better here with the look of it, because, you know, we've got the legs anchored that are pushing the eye up and out, with the other arms getting ready to position themselves into a better alignment or whatever. And then we get to the bottom, more crudely drawn panels, and well, let's see here. There we go. And I tried to experiment with the eye. I may just leave it more circular and full open, but I was wanting to show something with the eyelid. I'm not really sure how that would look. I could look up references, but I'd imagine realistically the eyelid would actually fall down and cover the eye. So you might not notice a hole, but it would just be odd and awkward. But I'm not sure if that would translate well in a comic. You know what's going on, so I may have to leave a gaping hole here. But here you see the eye and the pupils facing away because it's on a mission. And here we get the window pane thing, the bushes in the distance. Now, I like how this looks. I think it looks a lot better the way that I've drawn it compared to the initial drawing, which was where it looks like it's just kind of hanging. Right here, where it looks like it's just kind of hanging off the windowsill. I changed it to where it looks like it's climbing and it's getting ready to, you know, whatever. The one thing that I don't like that I did here is I tried to add a shadow, and I think it's a little confusing And it might be because I got a lot of rough lines for the legs, and the legs are kind of darker than what they should be. Because, I'm still kind of roughing it out, and then I'll come back in and fix it. But it's a little confusing because here's a shadow. I think this is a shadow because I'm not even sure myself. This is a shadow. This is a shadow. But it makes it look like there's 100 legs on there when I don't mean it to look that way. I think there's just like 6 legs in total, so I don't want to convolute it. I figure like a really good colorist could probably come in and add the shadow later, and they can actually do it, instead of it being a black, it could be, I don't know, whatever color, something that blends, but that's one idea. And then we get to the final crudely drawn panel yet again. Here's the bushes, and we see the outside perspective of the house, where the house is out of perspective, because I just drew the window for the sake of it, not worrying about like how things line up and stuff. And then here's the eye shooting its laser blast, laser homing beacon out into space. So that is that's where I'm at. So let's see. I'm getting ready to wrap this video up. Let me think of anything else that I'd like to say. Well, first of all, I'm either tonight or tomorrow, I will try to finish up replying to everybody. I've caught up quite a bit with quite a few of my replies. I think I need about 7 or 8 more out of the initial, I don't know, 15 or whatever replies that were long overdue. So I only got 8 more to go, I think, before I'm, wrapped up with, writing everybody back on YouTube and VidMe. And I apologize it takes me so long to do that. A lot of times work gets in the way, and other times it's just, life and then laziness, to be honest. So, but that doesn't mean that I don't value your comments, and I really, really appreciate them, and they motivate me, and I like it. And I like to I love getting to talk with you all and really get your thoughts and input, because it really does, help me and give me perspective, because usually when you're so close to something, you don't always see things, see the totality of something, like, I don't know, it's like a quarter, I may see the head side, but you may see the tail side. So for me to have that much broader perspective, it's really cool that I can bounce ideas off all of you, to make more informed decisions about my pencils and stuff like that. So, again, this is page 21, and I think I may take a break on drawing this page, and then I may go ahead and slop down like the base pencils to page 22, and I may keep knocking them out. Like, you see how this looks? I may keep knocking out the last couple of pages till I get all the way up to 24, and then I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do about page 25 and 26. And I think Drawn Sword Graphics had some good input about the 25 page idea being a good idea. I don't have everybody's comments pulled up just yet, so I can't really respond to them directly just yet. And then I think Foystorm was one to mention about, like, talking about the layout of pages, like how they go from, like, I guess 24, 26, 28, and so forth and so on, in increments of 2, I think. And like, if I did this X amount of pages, then I would need to do this. And if I did a splash page, it would have to be on these type of pages. So it's giving me stuff to think about. Oh man, and I really was trying to keep this to 24 pages, but I may just have to bite the bullet and let this be however many pages that it needs to be. One thing that I'm really wanting to do, now that I've had a little bit of time, it's closer to the end of getting the pencils done. Well, sort of. I'm going to say I'm halfway done, with the pencils. Because I have to go back and actually work on this stuff and make it look good. But what I'm wanting to do is, once the book is wrapped up, it's pencil, colored, ink, lettered, all that good stuff, I want to put in like a little letters column thing and a few other things to help people out, because I believe in giving back. I believe that you know, I don't know, I can't, I'm the kind of pay it forward guy, even though like it might not have been paid forward to me anyway. I can't explain it to you, but I just believe in putting out good, positive stuff in the world. And so part of what I want to do with this book is give back, as far as like, trying to help some people out. So I'm still thinking about, how exactly to go about that, and I'll explain more about that when the time comes. And I actually have a really cool idea that I want to do, and I want to save that here for a little bit. It involves music and this comic, and it's an idea that I've had for 10 to 15 years. I think it's really cool. Nobody's done it. Well, maybe somebody has. I just haven't, really seen it. But and it's not going to be something that's going to sell more books. Okay, first of all, that's the idea that I'm talking about. It's not going to sell more books. It's not going to be something that's going to make the news. But it's just a cool little thing that I think most people would get, enjoyment out of. Well, some people. Depends on what type of music they like. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. 17 minutes in. I apologize. I just want to give you all an update of where I'm at. As always, if you like this video and want to show support, please remember to give it a thumbs up or upvote, depending on what platform you're using. And always, please remember to subscribe and follow if you want to keep up to date to all the latest videos that I got coming up that I'm trying to churn out, okay? And I appreciate all the love, support, and all the comments. And I will catch you all in the next video.